All right. Okay. All right. So let me see if I am audible first. Boom, boom, boom. Hello. All right. I'm getting ready. YouTube is telling me to get ready. All right. So first, let me say Happy New Year or Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. I hope that you are spending some quality time with your family and dear ones. And I know sometimes those don't mix together, but most importantly, I hope you're not alone and that you're having the time of your life. Mainly, let me check out. Yes, Taslim, can you hear me well? Can you see me well? I've been working on the audio as well as video image. I hope that you can see me in a crisper way and that it's actually going all around your screen this time. You don't have those annoying black sided windows around. And this time I've been trying to, the first two streams were a little bit more stressful for me because, it's a little bit, when you do a video in your studio alone and then you get the time to edit and reshoot some parts, it's one thing. But when you're live and you cannot correct anything you do or say, your heart tends to beat a little bit faster than usual. So yeah, no, it's definitely, I hope that this stream will be a little bit more professional if anything else. All right, so let me get my thing ready. Stream health is good. I think it's good. All right, I'm just gonna ask you this. Can everybody, Taslim, can you see me and hear me well? Yes, Merry Christmas to you, Sausan, as well. All right, so the things I want to cover this time. I did script it a little bit so that I get a better feel of what's going on. I wanted to talk about, a few things. First, what did 2017 bring to us? The Bitcoin crisis was going on around this time, the past week or so, and a few questions that the viewers has been asking me over Twitter and the comment section of YouTube, mainly how to do a budget PC. But the first thing I would like to talk about is a giveaway I did a couple of weeks ago. I had promised that anybody who did take part and participated in the giveaway of the Strix 980 would get a Steam credit of some kind anyway. So, we had 29 participants. And of course, one of those 29 participants went away with a 900 Strix. Now it leaves me with 28 participants, which is entitled to get a Steam credit. And what's gonna happen is I will ask you to email me separately, telling me that you have participated and give me the city from where you did participate. It will allow me to verify that you did indeed participate into the giveaway, and I will reply to you with your Steam credit code. So I just gathered enough Steam cards to be able to distribute all of them. So please go ahead, email me, and within a few hours you'll get your Steam credit and just make it happen. Hi, Osgore. It's nice to have you here. I think it's the first time that you join us on live. Like, really, man? Like, you're one of, you were there from the beginning. You and Taslim were right here from the beginning on my YouTube channel, and it's good to see you. It's good to have you here. Right. So you want to email me at laurent@laurentschoice.com. If you don't know how to spell that, you can go on any of my videos. And at the very end section of that video, you have all the different ways to contact me, including the email address. So that should help you out. So that's one thing I wanted to cover. The other thing I'd like to cover is what happened in 2017. Well, for one, it was a long year. And it was long year for several reasons. One of them is, and in a nutshell, is that the status quo between Intel and AMD, has been severely threatened. For a very long time, for the past decade or so, AMD has always been the underdog and the second cheaper option behind the more premium and more performance and better quality Intel product line. But things changed. In about June 2017, AMD went about and released its Ryzen, its then architecture through its Ryzen line of processors, and everything changed. So to be very quick on this, we saw what? We saw the Kaby Lake release in January 2017 with the Z270 platform. We saw the Ryzen, the Threadripper, the Skylake, and Kaby Lake X on the X299 platform. Then we had the Coffee Lake with the Z370 platform. So, that's a lot of stuff released and a lot of obsolescence, making it very hard for people like me and to review everything or explain everything or to understand everything, and people like you to keep up with the latest technology. And it's not going to get any easier in the next few months as AMD and Intel is battling for supremacy, and as Intel feels threatened in its own trenches, those two big and only mastodont of the market will be releasing more and more different architecture, namely the Zen 2 and the Threadripper 2, and namely, well I think it's Cannon Lake, very war kind of code name, and the 10 nanometer based architecture, which is in a way very, very scary, because I'm not sure how well those kind of processor will work with overclocking. Hi Virus, can you show the Thermaltake Core X71 modification? Dude, like you're going straight at the modes. Yeah, Virus, I can show it. I'm gonna put this one as a request, and I'll make a video in the next 2 weeks on that one just for you, Virus. And I'm not being ironic or anything. I'll actually make it because you're not the only one who's been talking about the Core X71. So I'm gonna reach out to Thermaltake, and when I say reach out, I'm gonna harass them until they give me something. At least the X71, so I can play and modify it, because I won't return it. All right, so yes, big year for the processors and the motherboards. It's a little bit ridiculous when you look at the fact that the Z270 had only a lifetime or a shelf time of 9 months. Like that should be punishable by law. That's a crime in itself. Intel basically admitted that they released a lower a lower graded product with the Kaby Lake and the Z270, and that kind of made me mad. And I think that all the motherboard manufacturers also got a little mad, being told after going on, pushing their products to commercial pipelines and publicize them, being told that, yeah, actually those are not good enough, and not even a year after we are going to replace them with the Z370 platform. So definitely a little bit of problems on Intel side, and I think that's going to be amplified in 2018. We're going to really find ourselves with a lot of stuff. It's not going to stabilize. So if you are new to the market, I would seriously advise you to just wait, keep your money in the pocket for at least 2 or 3 months and see what happens. Now, the only market who's been heavily disturbed, again by AMD, was the GPU market, the video cards. And AMD released, I think it was September, October, its Vega 10 architecture, and it's RX Vega 56, and it's RX Vega 64, which this time didn't aim at Intel, but NVIDIA. And the results were good, but not as good as AMD promised and advertised, but still very, very impressive. So again, markets have been disrupted. NVIDIA felt a little bit threatened and released this annoyingly expensive Titan V, which we talked in the past live cast. So yeah, a little bit, again, disappointed by NVIDIA. I mean, if you are going to release something who's super excited, don't make it for the 1%. Basically, you only have a couple of gamers on the continent who can afford it, and a bunch of crypto miners. For the common of the mortals like us, we can only look at it from afar and just dream of it. Sure, 21 billion transistors sounds amazing, but who's going to be able to afford that? if you go for a $3,000 video card, I mean, you're gonna go for a $10,000 PC. And come on, I mean, like, anyway, you get my point. All right. If you have any kind of ideas, comments, or if you disagree with me, please let me know through the comment section. I'll be more than happy to engage on that stuff. Let me check one thing. We are at the 10-minute time. I'm gonna maximize my thing. We're 7 watching now. Wow, 7. That's much better than last week. We're very, very happy. Anybody I don't know? I can see 4. Who are the 3 other people? Well, welcome to the live cast. That's really good. Merry Christmas to you if I didn't say that earlier. Okay, so we talked about a bunch of stuff. The next thing I have in my little script here is Bitcoins. Okay, so cryptocurrency is a big thing, and I know, like, people like Osgur and others have been really looking at the Bitcoin scene with envy. And just for a reminder, 18 months ago, Bitcoins were traded at about $1,000 each, which was already obscene, thinking that a virtual currency would be traded at such amounts. But during that time and just a month ago or 2 weeks ago, Bitcoins just went berserk. For some reason, despite the fact that it's not trusted, there's not real regulation who are regulating it, and no real central body to guarantee anything, it went from $1,000 to $2,000 to $5,000 to $10,000 a month ago, and then in a short 2 week span, from $10,000 to all the way to $19,000. $19,000 for Bitcoin. So cryptocurrency and crypto mining became something much more interesting, and it was already kind of how to say that, it was kind of, it worth it to crypto or to mine Bitcoins and other cryptocurrencies. But now it's, for people who've been doing this, who have an installation, who are paying a lot of money in electricity bill, it actually sounded like they really did hit the gold goose, or the goose goal, I don't know how you say it in English, and things went really well. I mean, if you made money at a $1,000 rate, multiply your benefits by 10, it would have been amazing. But yes, like Taslim is saying, in the past 3 and 4 days, the bubble kind of popped, meaning that Bitcoins went from 19,000 to, I think yesterday, $11,000, so losing about 40% of its value, and now its trading has been suddenly suspended by the major traders. So things are very uncertain for Bitcoins, and I really don't know how you feel about this. I don't know if you're mining, if you have any Bitcoins. Please also let me know what you think about it, even after the podcast. I definitely am interested. I also thought about crypto mining. You can see that I'm dismantling my Ryzen computer here because I want to upgrade it. And what I'm going to do is put a couple of those computers that I'm not using to Bitcoin mining, just to see what the big fuss is about. I might also do a couple of tutorials videos on this and see what that means and if it's actually worth it. Wait for that. There you go. Sorry, I had to put a little bit of play ad sponsoring action on that stuff. So yeah, Bitcoins, I really don't know where it's gonna go. It feels like the bubble is not yet done popping, and I don't know if it's a good idea to buy. Mining is one thing, but to buy them and trade them, I would really advise against it for now, because, man, it sounds like something is fishy in this stuff. And now they've been saying, reports are saying that North Korea is actually controlling a big swath of the available Bitcoin out there. So it's getting pretty political, and I don't feel really good about this. So I'm gonna mine and see if I can make a couple of bucks, but more than that I won't do anything. And I really advise you to stay away. If you have savings, don't go there. I would really advise that. One more thing I wanted to talk about are my upcoming sorry, Taslim. Yeah, I think the bubble is already exploding. I think you're right. And I think that we're just at the very beginning. At some point, we're going to see much more of this. At some point, it's not going to be there's not going to be any trust in this. And when there's no more trust in a currency, virtual or not, it's just become Zimbabwe economy worthy. If you pass me the picture. Now, I want to talk to you about the upcoming videos I am going to publish. So now you know that for the past 3 weeks, I've been publishing a bunch of Threadrippers tutorials. I did the case preparation so far. I did the installation of the motherboard with CPU block, RAM, and storage. And I just published a couple of days the reservoir, radiator, fans, and water pump, and it's very, very nice. The build is coming very nicely, and I wanted to thank some of you viewers who've noticed that I did spend extra time on the stop action of the video. I spent 3 days, 3 full days, cleaning the high definition pictures I had taken of the different components so that I could play around in a 3D modeling environment, so that I could make some like really cool stop action scenes on the video. And it really meant a lot when some of you said, "Hey man, that's great, awesome stop action, dude, keep it going." It really made me very happy and gave me the feel that this was worth it. Simply, dude, salut à toi aussi. Oh my god, Simply is on the live chat. I don't know who you are. All I know is that you're French, probably from Normandy or something like this, but I do appreciate the fact that you've been around for a long time. I know that you're watching every single of my release. Really, again, you're part of the group. You, Taslim, Virus, Osgur, you're part of the core group, and I really thank you for being here today. I'm really sad you didn't get the 980. I was rooting for you as well, but man, I'll keep it in mind. One little bracket before going any further. I remember that we had one of the a couple of viewers were asking that for the next giveaways, we would go to a Nintendo Switch console instead of a 1080 Ti. And I've asked around, and I thought about it. I will do a Switch, sure, maybe in beginning April or spring, but I'm gonna go for the 1080 Ti giveaway early next year. I want to do the 1080 Ti is a high value video card, and I do think that it needs to be given away before it loses value, and give you the best possible, the best odds possible on getting it. The more I'll wait, the more people will be participating, and your odds will be diminishing. So I think that's a big thing. So next giveaway of February will be a 1080 Ti. That's a nice way to put it, and I hope that you will submit to it, like you subscribe to this giveaway. I'm talking to you, Osgur. I want to make sure that you all have an even go at it. One thing I'd like to underline is also the fact that Tyler Pug, can't wait to finish the new computer. I check your channel all the time for the next video. Tyler, you and I. Right there. It's happening. See that? Real water cooling tears of joy. Just made that up. Anywho, what's really important as well for me to mention is my website, my blog. I'm self-promoting it because it's a lot of people are looking at it. I saw a peak in visitors, and it's really nice. So please keep coming to my blog. I write a lot. I really think that it adds value to the channel and to the whole Laurent's choice ecosystem I'm trying to create and strengthen our community. So keep doing this. Tengile, Film This City. Can you give me suggestions to build a gaming PC on Intel Core i3 8th generation? I'm going there in a few minutes. I promised a few of you to talk about budget building, and I'm going right there. I'm right here with you. Thank you, Osgur, for submitting on the next lucky draw. One more thing I wanted to talk about as well is my Patreon page. I've got like $15 on it, and I'm very grateful. And I've received a $10 donation last week, and you know, it really made me feel special. So yeah, that's very nice to have some financial support outside of AdSense. I really appreciate it. If you like what you're seeing, please keep going. It's always nice to see that it's not only the money, it's also the fact that I'm being recognized for some of those things I'm doing. And dude, it really means a lot, because you all know we're part of this together, and I'm trying to give back to the community as much as I can. And you know, what I'm doing is really what you want to see, and what you want to see is the main engine behind what I'm doing. Add a link in this video. I don't know what you're talking about. Are you talking about my blog? Yeah, I will do that. I will put a link in my video. Okay, so I wanted to tell you about something else before we go to the budget computer building part of this. I am going to publish next week, instead of going on the Threadripper build, sadly, I'm going to have to publish a review happily. And not just any review. I just received the Formula 10 from Asus, the Maximus 10 Formula Edition. That's more likely what it really is. And I'm super excited. I'm super psyched. So I got, I don't only have the Formula, I have the Maximus 10 Hero, I have the Maximus 10 Formula. And the Maximus 10 Formula is the 8th generation motherboard, and I think it's probably, you know, for me, the best motherboard in the world is Formula Edition. My first videos and my first build was based on the Maximus 8 Formula Edition, and I then reviewed the Maximus 9 just 9 months ago when it was still the thing out there. But now that I have the Maximus 10, I'm super psyched, because I'm going to also be using it on my next build, the Coffee Lake build. So as soon as I'm done with the Threadripper, I will be starting a Coffee Lake build, and Maximus 10 will be right there. Wait, tell Adelina to be able to donate. Oh my dear, you're talking, I'm doing it right now. You're talking to me. Like, I love you, man. HTTP, let me get that right. There you go. I'm writing this. Here, I'm writing a link. Stay with me. Don't go away. And yep, that's where it is. You can always donate right there. That's my link. Not to be able to donate. 10 guile from the on low price. Yes, I got you. Virus, why are you crying? I'm here with you. The love goes all around. If you feel lonely, if you feel like I've never taken care of you, Virus, I'm here for you. Actually, I'm going down right now with a virus. Not even a joke. I've been coughing. I feel a little bit all nosy and like a little bit fevery. But I'm here, right there with you. And, you know, whatever you want to talk to me about, I'm here to listen. All right, so yes, we're going to have a great review of the Maximus 10 Formula. Super exciting. We're going to have a great review the week after for the Maximus 10 Hero. That's also one of my favorite ones. Hello, Hex. Always good to have you. And we are going to have, for crypto miners out there, the review of a Asus WS workstation motherboard, and that's super cool. I think it's the X299WS, and that is really for the people out there who wants to build not gaming computers, but more like heavy-duty rendering stations. And I think that that's going to hit a sweet spot for a lot of you guys. And finally, I'm gonna go for one of my all-time favorite, a Strix motherboard, a Ryzen Strix. I think that, you know, you can actually measure how popular and successful is the release of a new platform, a new CPU, and a new chipset by how many different lines of motherboard are being released by a single manufacturer. For example, usually AMD has just a couple. They have one Crosshair series, they have one Prime thing. There's really not much manufacturers want to invest in AMD platforms. But when you get a Strix coming out for AMD, it's a big deal. It really means that they did something great. And it's a real big testimony for the Z370 chipset class. So yeah, that's going to be something I'm going to be releasing in the next couple of weeks. So a lot of stuff I have to produce. And so that's 4 motherboards. And then I'll go back in finishing my Threadripper build. I have still 4 or 5 videos going on this. And that's a challenge. It really is. All right, so one more thing I'd like to talk about is building a computer on a budget. Now that's something that's been coming over and over again. And yes, that's for you, Tangail Films this city. Tangail, can you tell us where you are in the world? Because You know, I haven't seen you too much, and I'm trying to get the feel from the name, but I really don't get it. I don't know where you are from, so please let us know. Okay, so every computer I build personally is usually about a component. I like to build computers around a component. Either I want to feature a really cool motherboard, either a CPU, either the case itself, or even the RAM. For example, the Threadripper build was built around the Threadripper processor. That's what I really wanted to feature. Then I really complemented it with an AMD GPU and a Zenith Extreme really cool motherboard. When I went for the Ryzen project, I wanted to make it around, of course, the Zen architecture, and to really put it into value, I complemented it with a crazy case. I think it's the 900, the Super Tower 900 from Thermaltake. When I wanted, etc., etc. You get my point. And I like to keep it that way. I really think that every build is about featuring a special component. Now, in the case of low budget pricing, I'd go the same way. You have to choose, you have to put priority on what you want to see out of it. If you want to do a budget gaming computer, you want to put most of your money in the video card, right? So for example, you can easily go for an i3 processor or a Ryzen 3 if you go on AMD, and I will always, you know, if you want to save your money and go budget, I'd always throw you at Ryzen 3. It'll be cheaper, and it'll produce more computing powers than a current i3 or something very similar for a lower price. The motherboard will be cheaper because the chipset itself is cheaper. If you buy a motherboard who's based on an Intel Z270 or Z370 chipset, it will cost more to the manufacturers. The manufacturers are buying the chipsets from the CPU manufacturers, meaning that, you know, so if they're going to buy a Z270 or Z370 chipset, it's going to cost them more money, and you'll find it in your motherboard. So if you buy an AMD-based chipset, it costs less to the manufacturer, and it'll cost you less in the motherboard. So I'll throw you on AMD, especially these days. They're really doing great deals, and the processing power is just breathtaking. So that's one good thing. So AMD-based motherboard, any manufacturer, Ryzen 3. Now, video card, you know, I've been around a few, AMD or NVIDIA. Problem is, if you get an AMD GPUs, they're really, really good, but they use a lot of power, so you're gonna need a more expensive power supply unit, and it's gonna cost you more in electricity. Those are two problems. Also, they use a lot of HBM2 memory, and they have an outstanding amount of cores, meaning crypto miners are buying a lot of them, which are bringing the price up. Now, I would really stay clear from AMD on the GPU side. I definitely go on a 1050 Ti, maybe a 1060 from NVIDIA. Those are the cards which will give you the best rendering power for the least amount of energy used, and it's so widely used. You have great driver compatibility, and all the games, virtually every game out there has already been optimized for those video cards. So this is where I would put my money. This is the most of where I would put my money. Casing wise, go cheap, right? Go on a 100 or 200 series Corsair. You don't care. You're not, if you want a budget computer, it's not so much what it's going to look like, but how it's going to perform. Storage wise, I would go still, if you have the money, for an SSD 850 EVO, something with 500 gigabyte at least. If you don't have the money, go to mechanical. There's no shame in there. And for the RAM, nothing more than 16 gigabyte of DDR4 RAM. Keep it at, you know, you don't need the 3000 or the 3600 or 4000 megahertz. You can stick around with 3000 megahertz. It'll do plenty. You won't feel any performance loss per se, but you'll still have all the benefits of DDR4 RAM. Now, if you go around this kind of build, it'll probably cost you around $800, anywhere between $600 and $800, depending on which side of the world you are. But I do believe that that's going to be your best, the biggest bang for your buck in a budget computer build. Oh my God, that's a lot of talk. I should have gotten a cup of water around me. All right. What have we here? Oh, Chilla! Chilla Basaran! Hey Laurent, it's your boy Equalizer. She's the one you meet. Do you have to say you met me at the Goblin Con? I know exactly who you are, man. You were one of the coolest guy I met that day. I think you're freaking awesome. You're super loyal, and I'm really loyal to you as well. I remember exactly what we talked about. And, by the way, your English was awesome, which really surprised me. I'm really psyched to have you here. It's really cool to meet you in virtual person and to have you live here. I keep looking at your Instagram, by the way, and your Twitter. Or is it your Twitter? I keep looking at what you're doing and what you're up to. I hope to see you in Istanbul or something like this as soon as I get there again. It's really nice to see you here tonight. Tyler Posh says the Tower 900, my favorite of all your builds. I got a lot of tough love about that build. A lot of people are giving me good tough love about that part right there. I don't know if you can see it, the part I cut. And yeah, it was my very first time. And that was my first touch to the mod. I got a lot of love for it, but also a lot of hard critics, which I all take, and I really appreciate even the hard critics because it gives me a good side to go. Now, also the soft tubing, people are like, what? Like you spend all that money, you don't get a hard tubing? I hear you, and I'm happy to report to you that I will be upgrading this build. That's why it's in this shape. I'm going to be upgrading this build to a solid tubing. So stay tuned for that. Around January or February, I'm going to make the same kind of one standalone video about how to upgrade from soft tubing to solid to rigid tubing. The same kind of video I did for the upgrade of my Obsidian 900D. That's going to be super cool. I think that it's one of my favorite projects because it goes in one go. It's super fast. You have a small video of 20 minutes or less, and it really gives you a lot of tricks and tips of how I'm doing things. Remember that some or most of the video I'm doing when I'm doing something that has not been done before in my channel means that it is the first time for me as well. So I'm learning and trying to teach in the same time, and I think that teach is a big word. I'm more like trying to show how I'm doing things, and I try to try not to make too many mistakes, and when I make them, I try to tell you that I just made a mistake, but hopefully and thankfully it's not always the case. Merry Christmas to you too, Pawan Hajare. I have no idea where you're from, but I like your Christmas tree. Jalal say, I do not use Twitter that many often. Mostly it is my news channel in a joking way. You got a news channel? Come on, man. Share it to the chat. You got me curious here. I want to see that sweet, spicy news channel you got going, man. You cannot hide stuff like this from us. Come on, man. John 10 says, hi, Laurent. I'm actually doing a high-end build on a budget. I'm thinking making a YouTube of it. So far, I'm only out less than $500. Oh, ho, 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 Merry Christmas. Well, Zhao Tem, you go for it. If you do make a YouTube channel, I'll be here to support you. I've supported a lot of people who supported me as well. So it's really important for me that, if somebody has even a slight doubt about it, don't. Just throw yourself in there, open your YouTube channel. You don't have to monetize right away. You can take your time and, and don't feel ashamed or afraid to look silly. Look at me. I look silly from the first seconds to the last. I mean, I got a few videos out there. When I look at it, I'm like, ugh, what have I done? But, it's part of the game. If you are going to go for a high-end build on a budget, I know that's a lot of people, I know that a lot of people are looking for this, so I'm sure you're gonna, encounter a certain, a sizable success. So, mate, Jotam, whatever I can do to help you, you let me know. Chelal Basaran. Oh, by the way, can you give the arcade gamer friend the ways to build a PC for arcade sweetness? I know the software part just knew. Ooh, dude, that's a nice project. I never thought about this. Wait. But before I go there, Taslim, what are you doing, man? You're leaving us? Tea time? Tea time? All right. I release you, Taslim. But thank you again for the nice, sweet box of tools you sent me, man. You shouldn't have done it, but I can't live without it. It's right there somewhere. I don't know where it is, but oh, here it is. I got your tools right here, Taslim. I use them all the time. They're so nice. Thank you, brother. Enjoy your tea. Tea, really? Come on, man. All right. Yeah, I can do a video. I have to look it up. It would be awesome. That could be like after the coffee lake, how to build an arcade kind of game with a flat screen. I can see it. I think some people have done it, but if you know, if I got the money, sure thing. If I get the right support and the right people, and I'll let you make fun of me on that one. All right. Okay, so anything, I'm kind of done with all the topics that I've wrote here, that I've written, I think the right English part is, that I've written right here. We covered it all. So yeah, do you want to talk about anything? Do you have any questions for me? Now is the time. We've been on for 35 minutes and 15 seconds. We have 10 people watching. It's pretty nice. While you ask questions, let me give you a small update on the channel. We've reached, as of today, 1,182 subscribers, which is quite awesome for me and for you, and it's a little bit surreal. I think it's a gain of 20 or 30 subs since last week live cast. But I really think that not only, of course, it's nice to have a lot of people watching, but I start to get to know a lot of people as well, and a lot of people reach out to me, and that's the biggest sweet, the real sugar of this whole YouTube experience is the fact that I get to know you guys. I really get to know some of you, and some of you are been written, who've written to me directly, are now on my Skype or my WhatsApp, and dude, I love it because that's a big part of my life that I didn't know was out there, and when I'm talking to you, it's kind of therapeutic maybe, but it really is sweet. It's really nice. For example, a couple of days ago, I helped out a guy called Jack Day, and I did ask Luca to jump in on WhatsApp, and we started to help him, and I know he was a little bit tense, and it's normal. It was his first build in 10 years, but we finally figured it out. And it was really great to see somebody who's going through this process to trust us with that, and hopefully we try to make it happen and make sure that he has the support, even if it means sending free stuff or paying for it so that it makes it happen. That's something that Semper Geekum makes happens. All right, so what do we have here? John Term, thanks dude, LOL. Really? LOL. I'm making a $400 motherboard. What the what? You're making a $400 motherboard with a $100 CPU? Okay, you have to open your YouTube channel. It's so outrageous. I'm actually wanting to watch it myself. The approach may be shock. Yeah, it's a go for it. Publish this thing. Please publish this. Hex, do a collaboration with Linus Tech Tips. Yeah, sure. Why not? I think it's just too small for me. It's a small timer. This guy is in Canada. And yeah, Sebastian, I'm sure if I call him, he would take my call. Man, I think that I have to wait. First, thank you. It gives me a lot of credit. I'm not sure I deserve it all. But if I ever reach something like 100,000 subscribers, maybe I'll return my call. But hey, Linus, if you're out there, if you want to do collaboration with me, yeah, give me a call. I'll get my people on it. I'll see what I can do. Tyler Pug, I gotta be careful when I read your name, Tyler Pug, because my tongue can do tricky stuff. What have you ordered for Christmas? Nothing. I have ordered nothing because I have such a backlog and stuff I gotta play with and build and stuff. I'm more about buying stuff for others and getting presents around, because that's the best part of Christmas, is to see the face of people you care for and really try to surprise them. I spent a crazy amount of time of trying to get the small thing that nobody would get, and I like to surprise them like that. Tyler Puck, keep up the great work, you betcha. Chela Bacharan, basically software-wise. All right, so you're giving me all that stuff for the arcade, man. I'll keep it in mind. That's the kid and me. We all grew up around and on arcade. I remember, there's a mixed feel of giving like $1 or $2 in coins to that machine and get like 3 lives and 5 credits on a game. So I gotta spend all that good money, but then that very sugary high to actually be able to play with my favorite video games, and video games which were not limited by my Nintendo or my Mega Drive console hardware. So yeah, that was very, very special for me. Wait. Let me ask you, what did you get for Christmas? Like, I'm talking on one way, like I'm the only guy here. But what are you getting for Christmas? What did you save for? What do you hope for? What are you gonna get? What are you gonna build? Oh, you got a PS4. You know, that's the thing. I got a VR set a couple of weeks ago, and that was really awesome. It was an Oculus VR set, and I wanted to make a video of it, and I did not because I really didn't know how to do it. Because you know, such a personal virtual experience. It's hard to give that through the screen, so I just gave up on it. But yeah, I'm definitely interested in getting a PS4 just for that, for the VR set, and see how good it gets. Because one thing really bothered me with the VR set I've been trying is that I could still see the pixelization. I mean, all my senses were fooled, and I was trying it on crazy hardware, really, like 1080s and 1080 Ti's. So I had the best hardware in the world, but the pixelization was just too big to really fool all of it. So I'm waiting, in a way. I heard the PS4 had great definition, and I'm definitely waiting for better hardware so I can really immerse myself completely. Because it really bothered me that it was that good, but I still could tell that it's not real. A mining rig, man. You know you're part of it. You know it's good. So yeah, I am doing a mining rig. That is my project. One of the projects is coming up, and it's really tough in a way because it's really expensive, and it's not expensive in terms only of hardware, but it's also expensive in time because you need to get the right stuff to make sure that your electrical consumption is kept to the lower side. It's much more complex than I thought it would be. But yeah, it's definitely one of my very, very, very big project, and that's gonna be a solid 15 video series. So yeah, I'm working on it silently, but it's getting there. Simply, un mousseur de lait, des mangas et des jeux. Mangas, man. Now you're gonna get me emotional. I grew up, you know, I'm a French kid, and in France, back in '94, '95, it was the big Club Dorothée thing. But what Club Dorothée brought to us was like this cartoon, kids, teenager kind of show, which was shown every day on the main TF1 channel. What she introduced to us were mangas, you know, Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, and all that stuff, and you know what? That never left me. I think that, you know, I'm 38, and when I'll be 50 or 60 or 70, I'll still be this millennial kid who's reading mangas, Gundam, my favorite one, or Video Girl I, and playing, you know, awesome video games. Because playing video games is not just what you're playing right now, it's also seeing the whole evolution of it. For example, a few years ago, well, 20 years ago, I played StarCraft, right? And that was cool. That was really awesome. But then 5 or 6 years ago, StarCraft 2 came out, right? 17 years later. And I thought that with 17 years of experience, I would be the master of it. Man, like teenagers today, they just have such reflexes. I cannot compete. They kill me within 3 seconds. I'm basically, you know, in a team with a bunch of 15 and 16-year-old guys and girls. And I'm like the 38-year-old dude who's trying to still be in the hit and the cool through video games and be part of a StarCraft league. But man, like I suck at it so bad, it's embarrassing. But I'm still gonna go through because I really love the whole experience. Like Fallout, you know, Fallout to Fallout 4. I played Fallout 1 with my daughter not long ago, and it was like, hey man, like, you know, this game is actually, I was your age when I started. I was 15 when I started playing that game, and now she's 15 and we're playing Fallout 1 together, and she was like, you know, this is amazing. And it was really weird, very, very strange. All right, a mining rig done, Mousseur de lait done, Tyler Pug, I got a Switch only for Zelda, crazy $300 just cause I'm a high fan of Zelda. You're a fan of Zelda from N64? I'm sorry, I gotta show off. I'm a big fan of Zelda since I'm 7 years old or 6 on the NES. I think it was like the 1985 golden cartridge, and that was the very first game on Nintendo, which actually had 64-bit of memory, so we could save where we were. That was crazy stuff back then. Where do we have Osgur Altai? I'll speak this issue with you soon. It's a little bit complicated now. I'm going to share my research with you. Man, you know, whatever you want to do, you want to do a common project with me, you know you're invited in my studio anytime, Osgur. You know I extended an invitation to you. I can put a second microphone. Your place is right here next to me, and you need to take that plane and make this happen. Osgur, make that happen. Alright, by the way, a new Dragon Ball Z game has emerged, and now it's on beta build in PS4. Chilal, you got my palpitations going. When I was 12 or 15, I actually dreamed I was Dragon Ball. When I get mad, I always wished my hair would go like super high yellow, like, and fly, and have this little thing with where I can see the danger level of everybody, you know, like Kamehameha. I actually spent time in my bathroom, like, looking at my guns when I was 15, Kamehameha, and yeah, I'm sorry about that. Yeah, Simply. You're kidding, Simply, you're not 15 years old. Tell me you're not 15. Oh my god. Well, that is a risk. Tyler Pug, I'm a 92 baby. Dude, 92 was such a sweet year for video games, man. Like, we had the Super Nintendo coming out. We had, like, oh my god, was the Addams Family series of games were coming out on Amiga. Man, what am I talking Super Nintendo? Amiga 500, Commodore kids, man. This is where real computer gaming took off for us. Commodores, Amiga 500, and Amiga 1200. Like, I don't know if any of you ever had an Amiga in your life, but I had one and it stuck to me for 10 years. Like, it was really bad. I couldn't spend a morning without it before going to school. I actually did something crazy back then. I would wake up at 4 in the morning so I could maximize my time before 7 a.m. So from 4 to 7, everybody thought I was asleep and I was playing video games. That's how a geek I was. That was crazy insane. But dude, it was super cool because, man, I grew up in a communist country. Like, when I was 14 to 19, I was in a communist Soviet country. So getting those kind of stuff was a window to the outside. You know, we didn't have cars were restricted, phone lines were restricted. You couldn't travel as much as you wanted. And getting those video games in were a real breath of oxygen and a window to the world. That was really cool. Anybody had an Amiga? Please let me know. Or grew up in a communist country. All right, dude. Wow. We're passing the 47 minutes stand. Dude, wait. Did anybody like this video, by the way? Come on, you guys. You gotta like this video. This is awesome. This is so much more professional than my first 2 live streams. How many? I cannot see the likes on that stuff. Let me go full screen. I have to be able to see the likes. There you go. I know. There's no way I can see how many people like this video. I feel terrible. All right, guys. Well, we're 9 people watching, and I think we covered it all. How about we just call it a day? What do you think? Oh. Jalal Basaran is coming up with something. What Addams Family? The ones from Sunsoft? Oh, dude. Sunsoft, really? Man, who are you? How would you remember? Did you just Google it just to bother me? Yeah, the ones for Sunsoft. That's exactly what I was talking about. Dude, it's so bothering me that I cannot see any light on that stuff. It's really bothering me. I cannot set up and... Anyways. Okay, I'm gonna call it a night. I'm gonna say a few more things. I want you to have a great Christmas, no matter what religion and what are you. I know Christmas is kind of now a religious-free kind of thing, so, you know, just have fun with it. Spend time with your family, and, you know, if you need anything to... you know, advices or build your computers or, you know, anything you might need that I have, reach out to me on Twitter, on Facebook, or on my email address. I make sure that every comment I receive gets an answer. I make sure that any needs is met if possible, if it's not too crazy. And again, it's all about whatever I'm getting thanks to this channel, I redistribute. I don't keep, you know, I try not to keep anything for myself. I really want you to make you part of this community and to make you gain physically something out of it, because, well, I was born a socialist. Am I not? All right. So, guys, anything else? You too, Chelal. I want you to have a great night. Osgur, thank you for coming. Simply, I can't believe you're 15 years old, man. Yeah, I could be your father. That's not, oh man, that Dutski, really. And everybody else. We picked just a few things. We picked at 13 or 14 viewers today. That's quite impressive. I love you all. I want you to have a great time with your family, and I'm starting repeating myself. So now I need to end this stream, and I still don't know how to do this. I got the button. Stop streaming. I'm going to press it now. Stop streaming. Love you all. See you next Saturday, 8 p.m. Send me what you want me to talk to you about. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.